Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. However you're watching, wherever you're watching, however you listen, where you listen. It's the Bet Online Salute Your Choice podcast, and we are live. And we got our boy here, our good friend USCJ. We're here reporting live, late breaking news today. Bear Alexander has decided to redshirt, and he will enter the transfer portal. So, Ryan had to step off real quick. That's all right. Jay, how you doing real quick before we jump into this thing?
Man, what's up, coach? Man, everything is good, man. We kind of almost knew this was gonna happen, but was hoping it wasn't gonna happen. But now that it's happened, we here, and hey, let's rock and roll, man.
All right, so I don't know how to address this, and I want to address this the right way. I've said it multiple times on my show, right, Jay? And I'm gonna start here. For people who don't know, I went to Long Beach Poly High School, right? I went to Long Beach Poly High School. I went to probably one of the best high schools in America at that time. I played. Deshaun Jackson is a year older than me. When I was a sophomore, he was a junior, year older than me. Keon Rambo, Mercedes Lewis, Herschel Dennis, right? Herschel Dennis. I didn't meet Herschel till I went to college. I've seen a lot of athletes with a lot of potential who was supposed to be NFL stars. And that percentage of those Long Beach Poly athletes who become in, I'll put it to like this. You know Jarrell Casey, who played for the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His brother Ray Ray was 2 times better than him. His brother Ray Ray was 6'4", 220 in high school as a defensive end who played on the other side of my brother who went to Oregon. Like, I've seen a lot of athletes who were supposed to go pro, and they didn't. I was supposed to be the ones that was supposed to go pro, and I didn't, and it's okay. Because if I would have went pro, I mean, I'm here now. It is what it is. But Jay, everybody's not going to go pro. And scientifically, your athleticism peaks at certain levels, and it doesn't get any higher. Some people's for Pop Warner, some people's for high school, some people's for college, some people it's the NFL. Those types of things happen. I think Bear might have peaked at this stage, and we don't even know. And we know the whole thing behind it was reps. We don't even know what the game plan was. We don't never know what's going on. But my issue with all this is, it's not Bear. You know why? Because Bear didn't make this decision. My issue is when parents are trying to get rich off of their kids. When parents want to push their kids to the NFL. When parents want their kids to make it just so they could make a profit off of it. That's my issue with all this. And now that we have the transfer portal and the NIL, it's worse. The dude from UNLV triggered it today, and now it's going crazy. Like, it's worse. And we're seeing a guy who legit, who's parent, guardian, or whoever he is. This man is teaching this boy who's going to become a man. When things don't go your way, you just stop everything and you just walk away. Everything you worked for, everything you committed. SC went all in and gave you everything that you wanted. You did the NIL thing, they gave you the money that you wanted. Everything. And then you only got 27 snaps, you're ready to walk away.
21 snaps, yeah.
21 snaps. Just walk away. It's fine. We'll go do it somewhere else. Bro, let me tell you something about this coaching game, and I'll get it to you guys. I'm sorry. This might be a heated one, Ryan, but I won't cuss, I promise. Let me tell you something. Coach Henney is an ex-NFL coach. All NFL coaches talk to each other. Cliff Kingsbury and Lincoln Riley are best friends. Cliff Kingsbury's in NFL. They're all going to talk. All GMs talk to each other. All of a sudden, they're going to say, hey, tell us about this beard. Do you know how far back the NFL goes when they do their scouting on you? They go all the way back to childhood. They reach out to childhood friends. They reach out, hey, coach, tell me about this kid. All the way back. They get the FBI to investigate. You think by going to be the number one man, somebody's going to risk on you? No. You just tarnished yourself to become an NFL prospect in any way. Not big money, I should say. I should say not big money. There's a lot of stuff happening that people don't know. Look, I had to tell my dad this the other day because Florida's struggling, raising $24 million, and he thinks the game is changing and James Franklin's going to get fired. I said, Florida's struggling to make $24 million. There's levels to this shit, man. SC can have $24 million in 15 minutes. There's levels to this that people don't know. And some of these things that these parents do think they're putting their kids in the best situation possible are hurting your kids more than ever. What was done today was not a man teaching a man. I don't mean be disrespectful to his guardian, but you never walk on your team. Never. Never. You don't know what happens in football. The best thing about being in football, any sports that you play, is called adversity. And how you handle adversity tells you how to get through life. So when your career's done with football, when you're 35 years old and your job doesn't work very well and your boss is telling you to do this and do that, are you going to call your dad and you're going to have him walk in there and tell you just walk away? There's a lot of things here that are issues, man. And it bothers me of what's going on. I'm going to kick it to the guest, Ryan J. Go ahead, man. How you feel about that?
Man, I did a video earlier today talking about this, and I talked about the fact that it all kind of came from a tweet. And, even yesterday, I tried to talk to a family member and just kind of, just said, just weigh your options. Just try to, you got Coach Henney there. You got some good quality coaches. And I think, it was already, I can't necessarily say it kind of went together over the weekend. That he only had 21 snaps at the Michigan game, from what I'm told, and it felt like that he needed to be the number one guy. And what I was told was, if that didn't happen, this was basically threatening to happen, and I wasn't for sure if it was going to happen because I just felt like it's no way three times you're going to try to hit it again. And sure enough, I got a call about 4 hours ago that this could possibly happen. And I was like, wow, man, I just said you got to consider as far as just going from place to place. And I get it. You want to start. But here's what I'm going to say. As you guys know, everybody on my channel knows, I said that I trust this coaching staff 100%. I feel like it doesn't get any better. And I think the fact that you have a quality coach like Eric Henderson, everybody's raves about him all over the National Football League. And the fact that Kobe Turner, all these guys, Aaron Donald, these guys rave about Eric Henderson. It can't be him. So you got to trust what he's presented to you. And sometimes, you're not in that first string spot. Sometimes you move to that second spot and things are done strategically to try to make you maybe work better or to try to maybe push you to a place to where you could possibly be that player that they see, because we know Bear Alexander has some of the best potential of all these guys, man. But you're not fulfilling that potential. And I think, coaches might have possibly seen that. And as a result, he was at the second string spot. I personally believe that he would have found his way back to the first string spot if he would have just kept working. Sometimes coaches do, they this is how, that, man, coach, how it works sometimes, but sometimes, man, people get bad advice, man. And I just think it's bad timing. I'm not even necessarily worried about, I'm 100% not worried about USC as far as the timing is concerned. I'm more so worried about him career-wise. Like, this is just not a wise decision. I feel like, who's telling you to do this? And so that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Go ahead, Ryan. You're right on time.
Well, I had to go flip the pot roast I had in the oven.
Ryan's flipping a pot roast. So if he keeps going back, he's flipping pot roast, guy.
My Wi-Fi cut out right when we went live and that, but yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, crazy news, especially 24 hours after basically said it was a non-story. And I think what we've learned in essentially 16 months that Bear has been with USC is that it's kind of been a roller coaster and a lot of different sides and storylines. And it seemingly could have been after yesterday. Maybe the staff talked and, things looked good. And obviously you guys just broke it all kind of down that now it seems like he's redshirting. So I don't need to add probably too much more to what you guys said. As a team, based on what we've seen through 3 games, this may not have a huge effect on play. That's not to say Bear is not an extreme talent. We all basically thought he was going to be the leader of this defense, the leader of this defensive line, seeing what potentially he could have been with the tutelage of Coach Henny Anua and Danton Land in this new system. Seeing what like Jay Toya and those interior guys did at UCLA last year. I think there's a lot of excitement about what Bear could have been within this system. And for whatever reason, and a lot of stuff that we probably don't know, and I don't want to speak too critically on it, it just didn't matriculate to that. And, sometimes it comes down to opportunity. Sometimes it comes down to, what's happening in practice. And coaches have said all along, no one said anything bad about Bear, but guys like Nate Clifton, guys like Gavin Meyer were full-on team guys, and that's why they went after them. And they were all about the team, and they didn't say Bear wasn't, but based on history and based on, unfortunately, what we've seen in the spring with the flirtation of the transfer portal and then now this with the red shirt and will be a transfer portal. I hate speculating, but doesn't it seem like a true team first guy? So it's unfortunate. But, again, when it comes to football, 21 snaps last week, I think we saw the bulk of with Clifton and Meyer and others. And now, you look to these freshmen, right? Jai Abasiri and now there's my daughter now home too, and full house here. But Jai Abasiri, Carlin Jones just coming off injury. I mean, some of these young cats are going to get a lot of meaningful reps. So big story though, big story.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say some things could be a blessing in disguise. Now, I did happen to kind of hear something from somebody in the locker room, and this is what I was told just before I got on. It's like a weight being lifted off. I'm not going to elaborate to it into too much, but that's what I was told. And they weren't specific as to what that meant, but that's what they told me. So this could be a blessing in the sky as far as our young guys get in their work. Carlin Jones just came off an injury, so that's some heck of a timing. Mm-hmm. He could possibly get in and get that work. Of course, like you said, Jai Abasiri. And so, we still got I can't even pronounce his name. Sometimes I'm jacked up with names. Ratumana, is that how you pronounce his name? From Northern California. So we got some guys, man, and I think that we'll be okay. I don't think it's really going to be a drop off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how much things can change, right? Because both you guys know when there was talks of him hitting the portal in the spring, it was like, oh man, we're gonna have no one on the defensive line, and now we are 3 games in, and it's like, is it a big loss?
Seriously,
but here's the thing. Chemistry, we see now with the way this team is playing, we see how they fall back from 14 points with Michigan. I think, and we started seeing this in the Louisville game. I think chemistry means more than anything right now. Okay. And when you put that together and you combine that with the coaching and everybody on the same page, I think that means more than anything right now.
The crazy part was, so there's 2 crazy parts of this. So the first crazy part is, theoretically, and I could be wrong, we said, I can't say we because I can't speak for you, Jay. I said the locker room and the chemistry and what Lincoln Riley did as far as with players was not very conducive to creating a winning environment last year. I don't know that. I'm just going off of what I saw and what I can see.
So you think it was more so than Lincoln Riley, what he was implementing, or you saying just the characters within the locker room?
I think Lincoln Riley let characters within the locker room last year do whatever they wanted to do, and just to keep them happy. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's a factual thing. That's just my opinion. But I also saw a team in San Diego that played a lot better with some of those people gone. But some of those people are still there, and some of them are buying in, and some of them probably didn't buy in. And I think the ones that didn't buy in are struggling because the ship is leaving. They're getting left on the dock, right? Gentry is probably buying in.
Oh, he's off. Man, he's more than he's all in. He's right. He's probably teaching everybody how to buy in right now.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like so it's kind of it's kind of like a thing like that. It's like and the other crazy part is like this morning I'm defending Bear Alexander to my brother. I'm like, he only got 21 plays, but when he's in there, he's getting doubled and triple team, and like he's getting like everybody's trying to block him. That's why he's not really productive, blah, 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 this and that. And like I guess that's why I'm more upset, because I was defending him to my brother, who's a Duck, and they don't know what it's like to be having winning culture. They just know what it's like to be the Dallas Cowboys of college football. And so then like now this happens, and it's like, could this be? And I don't want to say this about the kid because it's not his fault. It's really not his fault. But could this be the last step to greatness, if that makes sense? Could this be the final remover that might be needed to get them where the culture needs to be 100% where it needs to be? And it's all opinion, and I'm just asking. And I don't like, I don't like talking bad about kids. Ryan, I don't talk bad about kids. Like, I'm not for that. Like, these are kids at the end of the day. Like, these are kids, but this NIL stuff.
Well, here, and Coach, not to interrupt you, but because on that point, again, we don't know everything. And Jay, you probably know a little bit more since you talked, but like, who's to say? And everything we've been told, like, Bear was bought in. I think he liked his team and was playing hard for these guys. But when you have outside forces, again, this is all just for conversation, not saying it's 100% factual. When you have outside sources telling you you're the man, you're the best, you deserve this, you should be getting this, and then you start thinking, and as humans, we do this like, well, yeah, why am I not getting this? Why did I only play this much? Why am I not getting this much money as this person? Those outside forces can have a negative effect. And it seems like through his career, not just at SC, but even the stops prior, it seems like that's unfortunately been kind of the case.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I mean I went back and watched that game, and I saw some nice things that he did against Michigan. I saw some nice steps. Yes, he had that one play where he kind of missed the tackle, but he had some nice plays. And if you would just stay, if you could just really see the big picture, and really, life is not always fair, but we build character. We build character. We build faith. We build a lot of things to, trials and tribulations. And if he could just see that on the other side, and like you said, Ryan, the outside influences sometimes would just kind of just die down a little bit, but like you said, when you want to be that number one guy all the time, it's hard to be the number two guy. Sometimes pride can get in the way. And I think, this may be, it's hard when you always been that way, but this wasn't the regular pride type situation. You got one of the best coaches in the country that knows what he's doing. And I believe he cared enough. I believe Eric Henderson cares enough about him to say, look, I'm not going to let you fall. I'm just doing some teaching moments right now. And if you just gather these teaching moments and really linger, get onto them, you'll be straight. But man, it's just a sad situation.
Is Trojan Blade in the chat? Trojan Blade, are you in the chat?
I don't think
they keep they keep talking about him. That's what I'm saying. Is Trojan Blade in the chat?
I don't even see the chat on my thing.
You can't. Oh,
you have.
While
we're thinking about it, you've got a few.
You got a few of those, Jay. Go ahead and take care of those.
I can see him. I'm looking at the phone. Yeah.
We got
Christian. What up, Christian?
What up, Christian? Manuel. And then your boy John.
John, what's up, man? Hey, John, I appreciate you, man. You said this is just a poor decision all the way around. Sad. Really, it shows a lack of character, willingness to do. John, I totally agree with you, man. But look, hey, you live and you learn, and I think we got to move forward. And as I stated before, I think we're going to be okay, man. I really trust the process. I trust Coach Eric Henderson, and I trust everybody, man. So I really believe that we're going to be okay. Thank you for the super chat, John. Yeah, I see him now.
Oh, you got him? So
yeah,
I think Blade is in here. They talking about Blade bad. Blade, if you are in here, what's up, buddy?
Well, they're yeah. What up? What up, my man? But yeah, they're just talking about the whole Twitter feud that started
Oh,
because of that.
oh, did you see the Twitter feud, Jay? They were going. I hit Ryan up last night, and they were beefing on Twitter last night, like Trojan fans were.
Well,
Like
it was crazy. But the thing about it, like I said, man, it was all triggered. And that's another thing. I think we have to use wisdom in everything that we do. And I talked about that in my video. We can't just get up here and put stuff out there. There's so much stuff that I know, man, about a lot of stuff, but I don't put it out there just because it's just not wisdom to do that. And you see what it did. Every action causes a reaction. And man, you start seeing Deion Bailey. Now, Deion Bailey wasn't responding directly to like Bear. It was more so to his dad, because his dad went absolutely crazy when he saw the whole tweet coming from, and so that situation was just crazy, man.
Yeah. So I need to address this. This needs to be addressed. Not kids, young adults. They know what's going on or should know enough. Don't let family members control you for your own purpose. So this right here is a problem. And this is why I'm not saying this guy, I'm not saying Alan does, but this is why you get the yahoos on TV who talk bad about kids, because they think that these 18-year-olds who's a teenager are adults. They think 19-year-olds who's a teenager are adults. They think a 20-year-old who's never been in the real world, never had to pay a bill, never had to do anything like that, has everything paid for him, is an adult, all the way to 23 years old is an adult. I'm going to tell you guys from experience, personal experience, the worst thing ever in life is when you're 24 years old and football is over and you have no idea what to do because your whole life you've been told you're going to the NFL. The worst thing ever. You sit there and you're in the real world, have no idea what to do. You didn't learn anything. You didn't try to get anything done. You sit in this void of what am I to do now that I didn't make the NFL? At the end of the day, these are kids. And at the end of the day, they still call their parents for help. At the end of the day, they're still in a sheltered environment as long as they're within campus grounds. College is a sheltered environment. You know what I mean? Like, they're in a sheltered environment. So they don't know what's going on. You give an 18-year-old $100,000, they don't know what to do with it. They're going to go straight to the Beverly Center. Like, they don't know what to do. Like, they don't know what's up. So, like, these are kids put in a situation to give them a lot of money. And I've seen firsthand parents who want their kids to make it to benefit the parent. I've also seen parents who want their kids to make it to benefit the kid. And the parent might be a byproduct of it. My dad was on me when I was coming up, but he always said, you don't owe me anything. I'm putting you in this situation to make your life better. If you make it, you don't owe me anything. But I've also seen parents saying, oh, we got to make it. We got to make this money. There's a big difference. And there's a world that I think a lot of people who've never been in it has never seen. And if they actually been in it and seen it, they'll get sick. It's sickening with these kids. It's getting worse because now they're trying to specialize kids into one sport. They don't let kids play multiple sports anymore just so they could get a check off of their kids. That is a vicious cycle. And that is a vicious way to live. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad. I'm not saying this is Bear's situation, but that is the situation that's out there. And there can be some hints that this is Bear's situation. You know what I mean? My father, I can only speak for my father, will ask, well, what did you do wrong and where you only got 27 plays? Something's wrong with you. What did you do wrong? Like, well, yeah, you need to get better. Or 27 is going to go to 0 and you're just going to be on the team watching. You're going to become a mascot. Like, that's my father. But there are some parents who will say it's the coach's fault. It goes both ways. And it's hard. You know what I mean? Because kids get stuck in it, and sometimes kids just don't know what to do because they're in this thing like, I don't want to tell my dad no, but I also know it's right. But I don't want to tell my dad no. So my dad knows what's best. So I'm gonna go.
I can guarantee you he was battling with that too. He probably got a relationship with some of those guys. He probably established that, and he's played. you travel with these guys, you go to war with these guys, and then maybe possibly somebody in your ear saying, "Man, you need this, you need that," but then it's like, hey, you gotta weigh which one. You gotta weigh the familiar voice, or you going with what you feel. And sometimes, hey, I feel what you're saying. I had major fear when it came to my pops. My pops was my everything, man. You know what I mean? Like I listened to everything he said. But it's unfortunate. Like now, NIL really, I said it jacked up college football like to the third power, because it's like guys don't even talk about getting an education anymore. They bounce from place to place to place, and whatever the best deal is. I'm not saying that's the situation right here, but it's like, man, no stability. We see guys leaving after the first year, second year, third year. Like at some point, you have to establish relationship. NFL guys, whether they realize it or not, they look at your track record. They look at what you do and how you work with guys and how you communicate with people. And sometimes if you see the track record is from one place to another, it could be kind of a tragedy type situation.
They get Jay, like I said, they get the FBI involved. They get the FBI involved when they do your background check. When they're going to invest millions of dollars in you, they get the FBI. It's not the actual FBI, but the NFL has a branch of like FBI. It's the actual FBI, and they do an extensive background check, and they know every single thing about you before you even walk into that facility.
I'll say this, man.
You.
He has some talent, man, and I feel like
he
still. I mean, I think he still does have some talent, and I pray, because like I said it on my show earlier. I always root for these young guys, and I always want to see them, be successful. And I just pray that the situation goes right. We've seen it too many times with a situation like this doesn't go right, but I just hope it goes right, and I hope that But I don't know of another coach that's going to be quite like Coach Eric Henderson.
Well, it's unfortunate, and totally different players, obviously different position, but you immediately, just because it's SC and it was so recent, you immediately think of Malachi Nelson. And I'm not saying the situations were the same, but he transfers out, goes to Boise State, and doesn't win the starting job. Not saying Bear won't win a starting job somewhere. I mean, the dude has so much talent. That's why I think what's disappointing without knowing all the facts.
I don't mean to cut you off, Ryan, but that's the best one right there. We wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a hard situation. And I see a lot of the comments. I'm sorry. I see a lot of the comments. Everybody's like, I need to watch what I say, and like, I need to be respectful. Like, I'm just saying the situation that is happening. Like, I've legit been in this. I haven't been in this situation because mine was different, but I've seen the situation firsthand. Like, I've seen situations where parents were at the game saying, we just got to make it to the Rose Bowl. Just got to make it to the Rose Bowl and we're out. Parents start talking like, oh, what insurance policy do you have on your kid? Do you know they have insurance policy for high school players? They sent it to my mailbox at my high school with all my college letters. They have insurance policies in there. And parents will take insurance policy out on high school players. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, there's levels to this. There's levels to this that people don't even know. It's a crucial, vicious world that parents get involved in. And all I'm doing is telling you guys the levels. And when I was coaching, there's a parent that walked into the coach's box because I was at a small school, mad because he didn't like the position we had his son in. And this is a Division II school, and we only won 3 games that year. Your son stinks, bro. The whole team stinks. You know what I mean? Like, we all stink. Like, we're a bad team. Like, it's just a vicious world that I'm introducing you guys to that you thought you knew, that's really that you guys don't know. So what I'm saying might hurt your feelings, but this is what really happens, and this is what really goes down.
Let me ask you guys this real quick, because I think going into this year, we all thought, especially in the system with Henny, and obviously set back by being a little injured in spring ball and not being able to get all the reps there, but we all thought Bear was just going to like explode this year. I mean, we saw some great stuff last year. What are you guys, just from watching like tape and this, what do you attribute to maybe the lack of reps? I mean, we don't know. Again, we're not at, I mean, I go to practice, but we obviously can't watch practice. I'm there afterwards. But the fact that the reps are split up, do you think it's just didn't quite develop the way he'd hoped? Was it injury based from the spring and not being as caught up? But I mean, Gavin Meyer joined the team late too, but he was able to get those reps and I think played well. But I mean, what do you guys think?
Did he play a lot in the first game of the season in LSU?
I had it pulled up. I think Bear got. I had it. Dang, I had it. I'll tell you right now. I think he got around 32 snaps for
Out of
LSU.
out of how many?
Let me see here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. I'll pull this up because I was looking at it because I just kind of wanted to know how this was kind of working out as
So let me
far as
a-
the.
let me ask this question. Say Bear goes to the NFL, he signs a 4-year contract, and then he has to rotate, which D linemen do a lot in the NFL. Rotate. I don't know if it's every 2, every 3. Ryan, you cover the Rams. How often does a D line rotate in the NFL? Pretty often, right?
yeah. I mean, it depends who, right? Like Aaron
Yeah.
Donald's not rotating, but
But yeah.
everyone else seemingly rotates quite a bit.
So if
So
they
just
start
not to cut you off, but so he had 28 snaps against LSU out of 64 total defensive snaps.
And I think Gavin Meyer had like 32, and Nate Clifton had like 36 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Meyer 32,
Yeah,
Clifton 36. Yeah,
yeah.
so
and
there's a disconnect somewhere. There's I can only speak from what I am seeing. Just rep wise and from what I'm seeing and why Coach Cheney wouldn't play him. I don't know the facts. I don't know the facts. I just want to say this right now. I don't know the facts. This is only my opinion from what I would see as if I was a coach. There is a disconnect somewhere and he's not picking it up. His athletic ability is keeping him on the field. If he's getting 20 snaps and then Gavin Myers getting 30, if Gavin Myers getting the bulk of the snaps,
28 and 32. So pretty
30,
even.
yeah, 28 and 32.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then. I redact
Between the 4, it was all pretty even in week 1.
It was pretty even. So then I don't know what there's still a disconnect. I don't know what he wants. He's not going to get all those snaps.
Well, I think
what I mean?
also if we're just being, I mean, I didn't watch every game, but Danton Lynn's system is pretty heavy rotation too. At UCLA last year is pretty heavy rotation last year.
I can also say this too. Sometimes when you're playing rotation, that guy is just in the zone and he's going to get more snaps because it's his day. Do you get upset? No. Like, all right, congrats. You saved my body for a day. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? I owe you one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes he's just in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, it might have been Gavin Myers' day. He might have been on. And then I tell you this: 1 year I coached D line, and I was so into the game, I was on a rotation. I forgot to rotate for like 4 series. So the dude came, he's like, "Coach, we're supposed to rotate." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." like let's get a rotation. That legit happens. I even seen that happen at SC, like with a rotation. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't.
Well,
I don't know.
you can't sleep on Gavin Meyer though. Like,
No, you can't. You can't.
I remember, he did play at Texas and had a a pretty good game, man. And he just doesn't look like the prototypical, defensive tackle. He doesn't look like a Bear. Like Bear Alexander looks like, just an imposing player. I don't even think Nate Clifton looks like the prototypical, but I think both of those guys are really guys that absolutely get it done. But does Bear have more talent than him? Absolutely. But I think it's something that he has to tap into. Like I said, I saw him play during the Michigan game, and it was one play that he had an extra step that looked like he got around a guy, but he didn't make it all the way. But you could just see the talent there, and it's stuff like that I think probably Coach Henny might have wanted to see. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Might have wanted to see on a consistent basis. As I stated, he's the mastermind of the defensive tackle. So I totally trust what he's doing.
Yeah, and not that we joke about this on our Ram show all the time. PFF is so subjective with their grades, but Meyer did have the 4th best defensive grade against LSU with a 70.5. Bear finished with a 61.7. Again, it's week 1, subjective, but it's at least that's baseline really to go off of.
That's really close though. 67 and 71 in that.
No, 71 and 60.7.
Oh, that's not close.
So it's still not crazy off, but yeah, not.
I will say this: Bear is athletic. Bear's athletic, and Bear is good. I'm not taking anything away from Bear, but it just doesn't work like that at that level. Good teams with good D linemen, it doesn't work like that. You play on rotation. Like, think about this. I play with Brian Cushing, Keith Rivers, Ray Maluga, Kaluka Mayava, uh, Clay Matthews. That's 5 linebackers, and we played in Thomas
pretty good
Williams,
team.
who also played with the Jaguars. You know what I mean? That's
Pretty good-
6
pretty good defense.
linebackers. How do you play with 6 and all the D linemen we had? Lawrence Jackson, Cedric Ellis, I can't think of the other one. Kyle Moore. We had a bunch.
Sean Cody on that team, or is he right before you?
Sean Cody was before me, but we had a bunch of talent. All those dudes rotated. Like, you rotate a lot. You rotate a lot in in college and in the NFL. So it's not like you just you know what I mean? Like, you rotate a lot in the NFL. You rotate a lot in college. So them being that close in snaps is so weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's really close. Like 27 and 32 and 34. Like, well, how you know one of them wasn't a long drive? So they just stayed in and they finally made the rotation. You know what I mean? Like, those things you can't. What I would like to see, this is what I would like to see, which we would never see. I want to see Coach Henney's grades for the Michigan game. That's what I want to see. I want to see how Coach Henney graded these 3 dudes out for the Michigan game, and that will tell you the basis and the meat and potatoes of it. I do like this, Jay, though. Lincoln Riley addressed the Bear Alexander meeting at 12. He addressed that very well. We have nothing to talk about. I'll see you at practice. If you're not at practice, then we got to move forward. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, man. From what you guys see as far as your evaluation, like just from the LSU game, we had 3 games now. LSU game, Utah State, and then of course Michigan. What have you guys seen that jumped out as far as the defensive line? Like, who's jumped out to you? When you talk about the defensive tackle guys, nose tackle, D tackle.
Good.
Anybody?
34. Who's 34, Ryan?
Braylon Shelby.
Braylon Shelby.
But yeah, he's
Braylon Shelby. Tim, get in here, Tim. There's Tim. Tim, jump in, Tim. Come on, Tim. Jump in. Braylon Shelby, and he's only a sophomore. Gentry's considered a linebacker. Oh, Anthony Lucas is having a hell of a year.
Yeah. Devin Tompkins, he's looking all right.
Yeah, Anthony Lucas is having and then the edge. Okay, Jay, I don't know if you know this, but last year I was a big component on setting the edge, set the edge. Those defensive ends are setting the edge. You're not running around the corner on it. And if they do, this is why Coach Lynn is so great. If they do set the edge, the corners are setting the edge too. Nobody's running around the corner on it unless it's a blown assignment. Like, so all the defensive ends I'm not good with roster names, so I suck at it. I would defer to Ryan to that, but I can tell you numbers. But I can tell you Anthony Lucas, which is number 6, right? Number 6?
Yeah, he's number 6.
And number 34,
Braylon Shelby.
Those 2 dudes are balling out right now.
Yeah.
I think in the interior, to your question, Jay, like, I think it's been kind of the same story with all 4 of them, where that some plays have looked really good and some plays have looked not great. I think the consistency for all of them have been kind of the issue. I think, Clifton and Meyer, I think I've liked a lot of stuff. I've liked some stuff from Bear, but then there's obviously plays where, that's not, whether it's gap integrity, whether it's missed tackles, whether it's, whatever it may be, shooting the correct gap. There has been some misses there. So I think there's a lot of potential. You also, let's be real, right? Like, yes, USC is USC, got to be great, but you're going up against the LSU offensive line and the USC and the Michigan offensive line. Those are 2 of the best offensive lines in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we knew going into this year that this defensive line was going to be a work in progress. Like, everyone knew that. So to sit here in week 3 and be like, oh man, it's been a disaster. If I'm not saying anyone's saying that, but it's been a disaster, this or that. Like, you knew there was going to be a growing maturation process with this defensive line, who in reality, none of them have played together ever, right? Like, none of them. Clifton's new, Myers new, Bear was here last year, but not with the same guys that are playing right now next to him. So aside from, Anthony Lucas and Shelby on the edge, but and Jamil Muhammad, obviously. But so I think it's just been a kind of an inconsistent for all the guys, and it's unfortunate that they can't build that consistency together. But now the guys that are there will be tasked with building it, and we'll see some freshman reps, which I'm really just in terms of positivity. Like I'm really excited to see Jai Babasari and
Carlon Jones,
Carlon Jones, who
absolutely
obviously just comes back from injury. Big dude. I always feel like I say, is it? Do you know? I think is it Jibe or Jai Babasari?
They always tell me I say it wrong. I call him Jai Adversary, but I've heard it's Jabit.
They should have it on the roster.
It might be Jade.
Jade, yeah,
Jade,
yeah. I say Jade.
Hopefully we find out soon, right?
As far as those guys get, yeah. I mean, this
no, I'm saying hopefully find out soon how to pronounce his name because
they're calling it on Saturdays.
If he makes a big play, they got to say it. So we'll find out who it is.
Yeah, hopefully we see him against Wisconsin. We got this game coming up. This is going to be. It's not going to be a Michigan defensive line, and it's not going to be an LSU offensive line. But I think it's still going to test us enough to where it's going to be more than the Utah State. So we gotta come with it. This is going to be some good work for him. I want to see Carlon Jones. He has actually looks like he has a bigger body than Bear Alexander. So see how he operates in the trenches. He wants it. I think he's enthused about it. And I actually had him on my show. We talked about it. And the ironic thing about it, he said that he was happy to play next to Bear Alexander. Now Bear is gone, and Carlon's getting ready to take the role possibly of a guy like Bear Alexander.
Oh, we got a burner.
Man. Wow, man.
We got a burner. Nice. Damn.
You're just upset.
That's fine.
Who's that?
I don't know. It says Fred the veteran.
Oh yeah, Fred. What's up, Fred? Yeah, Fred's he's always in my chat.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, we got 200 and got almost 300 people on here.
Yeah,
we got
501.
498 now. I think Fred the burner left because we said he was.
Oh, you guys can see the total?
Yeah, we can see the total. 498.
Okay.
Hey, call your friends. If we get to 1,000, USC J is going to give you guys $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I need you guys to give me my $1,000. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, everybody that's on here, make sure. Can you guys tell them where to subscribe? All my subscribers, man. You guys see these guys are. I told you guys the other day after my live. These are some great guys, man. Ryan and Coach Rowe. Make sure you guys subscribe to them. You could do it right now. You can switch over there right now and no, don't switch out my chat. But go ahead and subscribe to them. Can you guys tell them where to subscribe to?
Ryan, you go ahead and do that. You're better than that at me.
Yeah, it's just USC LAFB. But Jay, this is great. So USC J is the best in the business. So we're just trying to catch up to your level.
No, I'm trying to get. Well, so we're doing this joint. We're doing a joint live right now. You guys might not realize it. So I can see my chat and they can see their chat. Well, they can see all the chat because it's really their overall. And I just kind of joined mine in there. So yeah, this is a joint thing, man. Maybe we start doing this more.
I think it's cool, Jay, how all of us like USC content creators have all kind of like band together, and it's not like obviously there's some level of competition in this, but at the same time, like what they say, that high water raises all ships. So I love that we all kind of work together and collaborate, and it just keeps it fun.
I don't collaborate with all of them.
There we go.
We've been trying to invite Tim Prangley on our show. I just told him to come on right now. He just ignored it. Tim always says, "Hey, when you gonna have us on? Anytime."
He didn't ignore it. He said he's in the weeds. He's behind on work. He did respond.
No, I'm talking about right now. He just jumped on right now. And I said,
right now. He said it in the chat. He said, "I'm in the weeds. I'm behind with work."
Oh, my bad, Tim. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tim's been on. He's been on here. I've been on here a couple of times.
Yeah, I normally call in to Tim. Tim called me a celebrity, believe it or not. And I told my wife, I'm a celebrity. She's like, shut up. Yep. Hey, y'all want to take some calls real quick? I dropped the link in there. Jay, you could drop the link in too if you want. You guys got anything to vent?
Hey, but listen, everybody, yeah.
Be respectful. Be respectful. No camera on. Go ahead, Jay. Go and say what you're gonna say.
Oh, well, I'm gonna text you something real quick.
All right. Anybody has the Dodgers score? Let's talk about the Dodgers. You guys want to talk about bad coaching? Real quick. Bad coaching. Your 9-hitter comes up You have 2 runners on, no outs in the bottom of the 9th. And then you see this phantom wheel that was not a wheel, and you decide to swing, and then you hit into a triple play. Like it's a team of 3. How does Dave Roberts still have a job?
That's a whole nother podcast, my friend.
Yep.
While we're waiting, just so everyone knows, we will have our Wisconsin preview show tomorrow.
Yes.
I have potentially a good guest for us, Coach. I'll tell you offline because I don't want to tease it, and then if he doesn't show up, but could be a good guest to help us preview that game.
Hey, LBC Robbie, get the score from your boy. LBC Robbie. Oh, he's from Long Beach. Hey, LBC Robbie, did you go to the Funk House?
LBC Robbie, I used to live on 4th and Gaviota in Long Beach.
Did you go to the Funk House, LBC Robbie? Anybody want to jump in and talk? Other than that, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I'm getting the leash anyway.
You could go ahead and go, Ryan. You got anything else before you leave? Me,
I will. Yeah, I'll leave you guys. End of the day, wants what's best for both parties, right? For USC program for Bear Alexander. So hope he finds what he's looking for, and wish him nothing but the best. No ill will or anything like that. So and for SC, next man up, and we'll see what this team does. And we have I'll be on Lincoln Riley's conference call tomorrow, so I'm sure that will be a lot of questions regarding. So make sure to keep it where you can follow me, Ryan Doherty, LAFB, or obviously LAFBnetwork.com is the website. And Jay, I'll keep you in the loop too, but probably good updates from that. But yeah, I'll bounce with that. Coach, good as always. Jay, always
all right, Ryan.
Man. Thanks for
likewise, man.
You're the best.
Hey, appreciate you, Ryan.
You're the best. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
See you, Ryan. All right, we got my man Lamont. Jay, Lamont's been trying to come on for. So Jay, let me start here. I'm gonna mute Lamont real quick. I stole your idea and started bringing people on last week. I hope you don't mind. But
no, you good.
Lamont, hold on. Let me unmute my man Lamont. Lamont, how's it going, man? I'm happy you got to get this thing going. What's up,
good,
Lamont?
Coach? Going good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
What's on your mind?
Man, this bear thing is just wild. But this cat here, I live in Georgia, by the way.
Okay.
So I believe this cat, man, is just in it for the money. He doesn't want to do the work. So you got to move on. If he doesn't want to be coached by 2 NFL coaches on defensive staff, then what are you looking for? It makes no sense.
Yeah, so the only thing is I don't know if he wants I don't know if it has anything to do with wanting to be coach or not. We don't know what's actually on the inside. You know what I mean? And we don't know
right.
all we can say is what we have from the tweets and those types of things, that it has everything to do with reps. That's all we could go of. I doubt he doesn't want to be coached because he was with God dang, I can't think of the Georgia's coach's name right now. What is the Georgia's coach's name?
Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart.
He was with Kirby Smart. He came. Now he's with Coach Cheney. I don't think that has anything to do with it. And like, if the chats around the rumors say he's going to Oregon, he's going to another. He's going to another. No, you're there. He's going to another. He's going to another Nick Saban disciple guy. So I don't think it has anything to do with coaches. I think he just needs to understand that rotation is the thing, and you have to make the most of your reps. You know what I mean? So I don't think has anything to do with coaching. That's just my opinion.
But for me, my thing is when you come to USC, it's all if he's getting beat out by the guys that just came in this year, then he's doing something wrong. He was hurt during the spring.
I don't think he's getting beat out, Lamont. I don't think he's getting beat out because he is the starter on the depth chart. So they're just rotating.
So
he does come.
Not reading the playbook well, or what?
I don't know, and I can't say that I know what the issue is.
Okay,
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know they had him as a starter. I think it might have been that and or type situation. So it could have been either one, Gavin Meyer or him. But yeah, he's not necessarily starting as of late. So he's coming in like what he had 21 reps opposed to Gavin Meyer's 30 some reps. So yeah, those guys, Nate Clifton and Gavin Myers, are getting a bulk. of the reps. So, like I said, I trust Coach Henny. I trust all these coaches. Like everybody, all of us raved about the coaching staff that came over, and these guys proven their work, and they showed their work. And I don't think we should ever question them. There might be some other underlying things that we don't know about. But hey, the thing is, we just got to roll with the way it is right now, and really rely on some of these younger guys to really step up to the plate and move and groove with it.
Good deal. Hey, Lamont, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you on Victory Sunday.
All right, Coach.
Yep. Robert James, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking my call. I watch you guys' content all the time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Man, you know what? This is really interesting. I mean, I think this comes down more so to Bear and his history. I mean, if you look at his high school history, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he attended like 4 different high schools. He transferred from Georgia to USC, was going to transfer out. Now he's transferring again. I mean, this is just kind of like a repeating thing, and it's always about him. I don't think, like most people say, if the guys in the locker room are already kind of like, hey, it's a weight lifted off their shoulders, there's things going on in the background that we don't know about. And there was one thing that you guys may not notice, but I do. And I know you guys both play ball, but when you're out there as a team and everybody has on their warm-ups, everybody looks the same. But I noticed in that Utah game, Bear is out there with no shirt and a Pooh Shiesty mask when everybody else is out there looking like the same person, look like a member of the team. So what that showed me was there's a lot of individualism going on there. It's about him. Same thing that we saw with Caleb last year when at the bowl game, he didn't wear a jersey. He kind of had it hanging off where everybody else had theirs on. So I think there's certain guys that are kind of leaving the program that we kind of might need in order for us to kind of step into where we need to go and buy in as a team, because that's what it's going to take for the Trojans to move forward. I think we still had a couple individuals, and I think they're starting to show themselves, and these newer guys are able to come in and make a name for themselves. So I don't look at it as a totally bad thing. I look at it as, for us to move forward, we kind of got to drop off some guys that maybe don't need to be there, So I don't know what you guys' thoughts may be.
No, I feel the same way. Like I said earlier, this might be. I mean, I heard. Hey Jay, on your side, can you drop the link on your side, because I don't think they're seeing it off of my YouTube.
I can't, for some reason, I can't even see it in my chat. I can't even see my chat, rather.
I got it off of yours, Coach Ro.
Oh, okay. Did you log in on?
Yeah.
Okay, I just sent it again. So, all right, but no, that may be. You might be right, Robert. But at the end of the day, it's a bigger issue that I talked about earlier, and it's the issue where you're still a kid and you have to listen to your dad, even though you know it's right. But I'm gonna listen to my dad. You know what I mean?
You're
it's
absolutely right.
Issues. So
you're absolutely right.
So hopefully. I mean, I wish like I said, I wish nothing but the best for this kid. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of layers to unwrap. There's a lot of NFL coaches that talk to each other that are going to go talk to Henderson. So this has the potential to hurt his draft stock. So hopefully this doesn't. Hopefully he does have a successful career, and hopefully he does reach his potential. So,
well, I was gonna say too, like, I think we're stepping into uncharted territory. I think for a long time we never really saw college athletes judged or scrutinized as much because they were considered amateurs, right? But now that we're stepping into the space where guys are getting paid, if guys are gonna hold out, demand more money, unfortunately, as fans, no matter they're not gonna look at it as he's a college athlete. They're gonna say he's getting paid. This guy demanded money. He held out. Now we're not getting the results on the field that we anticipated. That's the new thing. That's what we're going to see a lot more young guys have to deal with.
I'm going to stop you right there, Robert, because there's college athletes weren't allowed to get paid, but people they sat in class with were allowed to get paid and were allowed to have jobs and were allowed to make money, and college athletes weren't. So how come those kids don't get to be scrutinized? Now, we could fix it and cap it, and I give this example all the time. Freshman gets $75,000. If you just transfer, you get the remaining of your $75,000 from your next school. Then it goes 100, 125, 200, so on, go on. Once you do that, things change. Now, if you go get your own advertisement and your own endorsements, then all that will work out well. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I understand that part, but I mean, we understand sports, and when you are being paid, we don't know what the students are making. You know, these guys are automatically going to assume, hey, he's making NIL 300,000, 400,000. There's going to be an expectation of performance associated with it. Unfortunately, even in college, there is.
You know what that's called, Robert? That's called people hating, and you're hating on an 18-year-old. So I mean, I just they deserve the money.
Oh,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure, for
Like
sure.
they
No,
deserve the money.
absolutely,
They're making millions
absolutely,
of dollars for
absolutely,
these people. They deserve the money. Don't hate on these
absolutely.
18-year-olds. You know, Jay, you got anything for Robert before we go to the next one?
No, but I totally understand what Robert is saying, and I kind of want to know now that he's getting ready to redshirt, or he's saying that he's redshirting. Does the payment stop? You know what I mean? Like, or is it do you have to complete the season
Right.
to even reap those benefits? You know
We
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Good
Yeah,
question.
we're
That's a
stepping
good
into
question.
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And I kind of wonder if they thought that out before they all actually finished this season out, because I mean, people want, when you have a contract, you can't just, especially in the NFL, you can't just stop and say that I want to stop and I want to be somewhere else. Your money, you might not be receiving your money.
100%. Hey, Robert, thanks for jumping on, man. I
For
appreciate
sure,
you.
man. Thank you guys for taking my call.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
Hey, Rye, turn your camera off before you jump in here. There you go. Rye, what you got for us, man?
Man, what's going on, man? You two gentlemen look like y'all down, lost in the sauce right now. But yo,
Nah,
man,
What's up, big dog?
what's going on, man? I just found out about this just now, man, and it seemed like it just been crashing down since another YouTuber's with his video reaction to some things, and then it's just like back and forth in the Twitter stuff. It's just like now the young man just going red shirt and transfer out. Like, it just don't work like that, man. Because if he think this is gonna be acceptable, you can do this in college, but once you get to the pros, man, they ain't gonna play about that money, man. They not playing about that money out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just real unfortunate because, like, he's a talented young man. It's competition right now, and over there on the roster on that line, man. So, he getting what, 21, 22 snaps in the Michigan game. I think the other previous two games he averaged between 22 or between 20 and 25 snaps. I mean, hey man, you just gotta step it up, but I don't think, his family, getting into it online over with the fans. I hope that's not the reason why they're making this move, because that's just a bad look on his part. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think that's the ultimate the ultimate reason. I think it triggered it, because like I said,
yeah,
it was the post that was put up, and that's when his handler started kind of going back and forth, putting videos out,
exactly.
and I understand if you're a kid, you're gonna defend. I mean, if you're a parent, you're gonna defend your kid, but it's always the right way to do things, and to implicate other people within it, such as players, man, that had
Yeah,
absolutely nothing to do with it. That was
I
a
didn't
kind of
understand.
I didn't, that was kind of different. So that
Yeah,
really
that's
made
what
it.
I'm saying
That
too.
really
Yeah,
kind
I
of
feel
made it.
that.
Yeah, and so it went back and forth so much, but all of it was triggered off of one particular post that was put
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I mean, it's crazy, man.
I think he should just finish out the season. If you want a red shirt, or I mean, if you want a red shirt at the end of the season, then red shirt, man. And I wish the best for him. But I mean, I'm gonna say this, like, I'm happy that Carlon Jones out his boot. He gonna probably get some time. Jad Abasari, he looked good in the Utah State. He was really active out there, pushing that line, man. But it's real unfortunate to see how things have transpired in the last 48 hours. And then on top of that, it was like, I didn't know that you can even do this, because especially when I heard about the UNLV players, two of them just said,
It's
nah, I'm
wild.
dipping out
It's
too.
wild. It's
That
wild.
was
Yeah.
wait. Hold on. That was dirty business, though.
I get that, but
That
even
that
though it's
was
dirty
that,
business,
that was dirty business. That was dirty business. That was
I hear
dirty
you.
business.
I
Don't
hear you
tell me
100%.
Don't tell me you're going to give me a certain amount of money, and when I get there, you only give me $3,000, and then when I ask you about the money, you don't give me the money, and it's not in writing, so I can't take you to court for it. That's dirty business.
Yeah,
Don't do kids that way. These are also kids, and you don't do them that way. Like at the end
that's
of the
true.
day, like you know what I mean, that
But that's what I'm saying.
that's
Like the
dirty
the
business.
NIL is jacked up college football because before the NIL, you couldn't just stop in the middle of a college football season and say,
Exactly.
I understand what Rod's saying. Like,
You could
unless you red shirt.
not even red shirt. There's people on the Division I level who quit. We just don't know. You guys just didn't know about it.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
okay.
can.
Shit, if we didn't
I
know
got
about it, that's news now for a lot of the fans who are out of touch on that. You know, because we ain't got the news like y'all got the news. But that's just crazy to even be like that, man. Because you know, it's either like if you go to the NFL, you either getting cut, released, and that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they might as well. I mean, if the players, the student athletes, gonna be doing all this, that, then we need like full on contracts, and then because they don't need to be cashing out NIL money no more if you're gonna just do stuff like this.
They
And I
technically
think it's
do
just
have a
leading
they,
off of emotionals. I think everything is just leading off emotions right now.
they
Like they
technically
gotta
do
drop
have a
that.
contract though. Their
Well, I think
contract.
emotion and pride, man. Like when you've been the
Yeah.
man for so long, it's like it's hard to kind of do anything otherwise than take the number one spot. And I feel like it would have eventually worked out. I feel like he would have possibly worked himself back in there. I really think Coach Henry is one of them guys that really cares. But Coach Rose talked about maybe outside influence affected some of this, man. So, we don't know the full story. We just can only assume, but hopefully, man, we pick up the fragments.
To your comments right there.
Hey,
Y'all got-
Ryan, we got a bunch in here. We got to get going. We appreciate you for coming on though.
All right, brother. Be easy, y'all.
Take it easy, man.
Hey, LBC Robbie, turn your camera off before you jump in. Hey, I'll take this challenge. Jay, I'll take this challenge. Look. I'll take this challenge. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Wow.
I'll take that challenge. I'll take it.
I don't think he even. I don't even think he knows what he.
I'll take that challenge. We could get on the board. We could talk any scheme. We'll talk triple option out of shotgun. We could talk.
You break out the chalkboard for him right now.
You don't want to talk triple option with me, Coach.
We can talk triple. Hey, hey man, I'm a big Bob the Best guy. If I ever call offense, I'm running triple option out of offense.
Yeah, no, I'm a defense player. Yeah. No, I'm from. I'm a little younger. I'm Key's age. Keyshawn Johnson. I was on the J-Rob squad. Like
okay.
as a practice dummy.
John Robinson.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, J-Rob too. Yeah. I was roommates with Sam. No, Wiles and Reimer, the one who just died, is my cousin. Jay, you know me. Anyway, I wanted to get on what you just said, Coach. Yeah. Coach, about the world that people don't know about. Like you said, there's one thing you thought you was going to be an NFL player, and then all of a sudden it comes down and you're 23, and it goes deeper than that because it's the reason that people are only in the NFL 3 years as an average. And that's not because they're not good enough. It's because they're not in the right situation. And usually what it is if you're not a starter by year 3, you make the veterans minimum, which is $400,000 more than the rookie minimum. Meaning if you're a backup at that time, they will cut you and put in whoever they draft as a rookie and say, hey, if our starter gets hurt, we'll deal with it then. And the other thing people don't realize that 90% of them, like I said, I never knew I was going nowhere. I was, practice, whatever. But I'm the one who got called to pick them boys up because they didn't want to tell them they got cut because they were already spending all this money and stuff like that. And I can't imagine adding this NIL to a thing now, because I tell you right now, you gave us $100,000 back then, we'd be dead. So, I mean, that's just being real. I mean, it's I don't know what the balancing act is going to be. I do know, like in this age of listen, people are still people, and $50,000-$100,000 is still a lot of money to an uncle or aunt or somebody who thinks they have some influence. And like I put in the chat earlier, Jay, like, it's different than when we went. Well, I went to school. My dad said to coaches, hey, you can hit him, it's cool. Yeah. So, and to that, hey, you're not calling the right this to uneducated eye. I can't imagine dealing with it, Coach.
It's all right. It's all right. I get it all the time. I will say this, and I think people don't understand how NIL started. And NIL started in California. California passed a law saying college athletes can get paid. So
Gavin Newsom, love you, baby.
California, we don't do politics here. We just talk sports. They they said that we could get paid, right? And then Florida said, "Oh, if California's doing it, we're doing it. We're not gonna lose out to California." Everybody started rolling, but Alabama didn't approve it. Tennessee didn't approve it. The NCAA's grandbaby of all grandbabies didn't approve it. So how do you make it legal for the biggest cheating conference who already had it?
Yeah, I just say you don't see a geographical thing there, Coach.
Yeah, like how do you now you make NIL available for everybody? So then you just pass this rule for everybody to do, but then there's no rules to it. So now it's the Wild West. Everybody, it's crazy because Jay, I watched Tombstone last night. And everybody just shooting.
Oh, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies, man.
It's the Wild West, right? Now, like I said earlier, if you're a freshman, you get $75,000. You enter the portal. If we gave you $25,000 at the first school, when you go to the next school, you're only obligated to $50,000. If you're a sophomore, you get $100,000. If you make $50,000 at the first school, you're only obligated to 50. You're only obligated to the next.
Hey, Coach, not to interrupt you, but here was my thing all along. Back in my day, when, like I said, Darrell Russell and Sammy Knight got suspended for the Cal game for selling their Nike shoes back at because the little snitching at Nike Town in Newport Beach told on us.
Well, and
how about you just pay us minimum, because we can't have jobs, pay us minimum wage, the 20 hours worth of practice a week, and maybe 10 to work out, which every other student has or every other student can do.
The last thing
they never did it.
The last thing you want them to do is unionize, and you want them to become employees. Because once you unionize and become employees, guess what? If you don't perform, I could fire you.
They have benefits when they get long-term, when they get hurt, and when they're crippled like me and all my friends, three of which are dead. The two I mentioned that were on the team with me that Jay knows. And all of them, was getting SS or whatever, the county health care at the end, because the NFL's extension is 5 years after you graduate. SC's our college thing is none. Half of us are addicted to narcotic painkillers just trying to go to practice after we're done. And then we have no health care. And you wonder why all these guys are dropping dead at the age of 34. That's an issue for another time. Let's talk about let's talk about the PFF grade for the O-line, because this is the problem, and this is a really, really big problem.
Robbie, we're gonna stay on Bear Alexander Day. Me and Jay.
Okay.
Maybe we can link up Friday. Jay,
yeah.
I'll call you on Friday. No, I'll be back around. I'm the extended. All right. I was dumb. I took the promotion at work. Yeah.
Make that money, man.
All right, thanks, Robbie.
All right, man. Hey, can you pull up? I've seen Tim Prangley's comment real quick. Pull that up real quick, and I want to kind of elaborate on that because I think he mentioned something about. It was about a tweet.
I'm looking for all of Tim's.
It was about a tweet. It's just up a little bit. I think I seen it when I was looking at the phone.
All right. I wish you could search it. Tim. Tim, Tim?
Hold on. I see it
right here.
Sir, does any of you know what he said in the? I got to see the first part of that. Okay, well here I think he's referring to a tweet, but here's what I'm gonna say. I thought I saw something where he said, "Do I think a tweet triggered the red shirt?" Now here's what I'm gonna say.
I did see that.
Yeah. Here I'm gonna address Tim. So here's what I'm gonna say to that, Tim.
That one.
Yeah. Do you think a tweet triggered? I don't think a tweet triggered the red shirt, but I think the back and forth on Twitter yesterday is what triggered the back and forth in the comments with Tony Jones. I don't think Tony Jones would have ever. I think Tony Jones was responding directly to the tweet that was put out about his son. And the film that was kind of magnifying, showing that he essentially missed a block, and he responded directly to that. And as a result, we've seen a whole tread. And then we saw Deion Bailey going back and forth because, and I don't even think, he really saw the origin. So I think that's what it all stemmed from. And I think it was some underlying stuff that the 21 snaps, all that stuff, I think it's all coupled together and compiled together. But here's what I'm going to say. We got to be more responsible with the tweets that we put out. We can't just put out any and everything, because here's the thing. Why single out Bear when you had other players? Bear was essentially a second string player, right? So why single out Bear, a second string player, and when you had a first string player, and I'm not going to name no names, that really caused some issues with Miller Moss. And so all these guys made mistakes. And so to single out Bear like that, I know for a fact that he was that his handler was hot. And that's why you saw him responding directly to that tweet. And you saw a bunch of back and forth that ignited. That thing really ignited all of this. I don't even know.
Wait. I missed something.
Oh, you didn't? Well,
wait. Just
it was a tweet about Bear put out yesterday.
Okay.
I got a call about it, and I saw what it was. And apparently it was Bear missing a tackle, and basically kind of saying that, I can't read I don't have the tweet pulled up, but it was basically showing that I think it says something like, we can't have this or something like this, or we can't, or I can't, I don't say this is not verbatim because I can't remember exactly what it said, but we can't have this or something like that. And Bear was like missing a tackle. But here's the thing. Why are you magnifying Bear's situation where you had others on the team? Bear's not the one that lost that game. Mm-hmm. It was it's no INT in team. It's a team effort. So to put that tweet out, I think it triggered a lot of stuff. Now can I say that it necessarily triggered the red shirt? I think they're not happy with playing time. Well, I know they're not happy with playing time, but I think it triggered all that we saw yesterday. In the outburst that we saw yesterday, I can 100% say that it triggered that. You didn't see all that stuff, did you?
I didn't. All I saw was at the end when people were getting blocked and everything like that. I was like, whoa, what happened? You know what I mean? Like it all right. So first of all, I'm gonna address that. No grown-ass man should be calling out a kid on his play.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. We as content creators, right? We should be, I'm saying, responsible for how we conduct ourselves here.
Yes.
And so it was another content creator. And I'm not even going to say the name, but the whole thing is, I can't just get up here and say anything I want to say.
Correct.
Even though I know a lot. And so that's what it was. And so it triggered that. Matter of fact, I talked to him, and it was, the whole situation was crazy.
So I'm going to address that. There are times, and like in the spring we do player evaluations, and people who follow me on here probably heard me say, I don't think he's that good, and it's just a truthful evaluation. I don't think, I'll tell you right now, Jay, and I told you on your podcast, I don't think that Zachariah Branch is a receiver. I think he's a running back. He's a scat back. What is he? 5'10", like 180 pounds. I think he's a running back. But I'm not gonna go, or I say, hey, Jay, we need to start having the conversation about Zachariah Branch. We need to figure out a direction for him to go. That's us saying, because now let me tell you the difference. If it was the NFL, Tutu Atwell sucks. Tutu Atwell is a waste of money, and he's playing on the Rams, and he's stealing money, and what he was drafted for, he just finally did. Tutu Atwell sucks. He needs to get cut. It's time for him to go. Compared to Zachariah Branch, we need to have a conversation about Zachariah Branch. We need to find a place for him to play in order for him to execute and be the best player he could be, because right now we're not getting all of that out of him. You see what I did there? You see the difference? The pros, they're grown men. But at college guys, they shouldn't be talking like that about college guys. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
And we just, it's, the fact that it was even put up, which triggered Tony Jones, because we saw multiple threads with Tony Jones. It should have never. Now we could say that is he a little sensitive or whatever? Who knows? But the whole thing is like, hey, I sure wouldn't have did it. I mean, I wouldn't have, put that information out there like that.
Yeah, but Jay, at what point do you start protecting your kid?
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, if it was my son, you think I'm not clapping back? Would you clap back for your kid?
No, 100%. That's what I'm saying. No grown man should. These are still kids. No grown man should be doing that to a kid. You get what I'm saying? If they play on Sundays, I get it. But these are still college kids, and no grown man should have been doing that to a kid. And that, and if it was a SC content creator, that's very disappointing, because I can say for the most part for SC content creators, we have set a perfect example for content creation. I feel like we're all get along. I feel like we all put out good content that is not media hunting and not typical ESPN, Fox Sports media searching for the story to be on top. Like we try to keep our integrity. So that is outside the line of being an SC content creator. That's my opinion. We got a guest in here. Christian Ragland. Christian, what's up, man?
What's going on, Coach?
How you doing?
All right, man. Just one quick.
You're not the one that said you wanted that. I don't know football, right?
Come on, Coach. Nah, that's Fred, the veteran, or something like that.
Oh, okay.
That's he.
What's going on, Christian? What you got for Jay? What you got for Jay?
Well, just real quick. I agree with everything you guys are saying. Not taking up for him, but I'm seeing everybody writing a post like, why did he call out Bear? Why did he call out Bear? I mean, he has a channel, and if you watch his video from yesterday morning, he didn't just single out Bear.
We're not actually, Christian. I'm not referring to a video. I'm talking about a tweet that Tony Jones was going back and forth. It was on Twitter. Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen the tweet, but in his video, he called out the whole wide receivers, went through the offensive line grades, and so like he didn't just point on his tweet. He pointed Bear out, but in his video,
that's
he pointed everybody out.
That's what I'm talking about. The one with Tony Jones is responding to was the one on Twitter, and that's the one that triggered the whole thing.
Hey, Christian, do you have a son?
Man, I have a son on Thanksgiving Day.
All right. Well, once you have that son, you will understand. See, you already have the mindset that you need to prepare. But once that, are you married?
Yes, sir.
So as a married man, and I'm married, I have a lovely wife, I have 3 kids. I know my number one rule is to make sure that they are protected 100% of the time, no matter what it is. Right? And that's the same thing for your wife. When that kid enters this world, and when you hold your kid for the first time, only thing that's going to cross your mind is nothing's going to happen to this kid. So if someone talks sideways to you and things like that, not to you, it's okay. But once they start talking crazy to your kid, it's going to be instances where you're like, hey, man, like,
chill out.
Protect your family. Exactly.
And check this. Here's the bigger issue, though. This team is playing so well on defense. The momentum we're moving and grooving on so many levels. What was it about what Bear did that the tweet had to be put up to where, our focus should really be on something totally different. And then, like I said, every action is always a reaction. Like Tony Jones didn't respond to a video. He responded to a tweet, and we saw all this. The thread was so long. Then we started seeing, former players get in it. And it's just like, look, we got to use wisdom, especially as content creators, how we Christian, do you know how much stuff that I know, but I never put it out because I try to use wisdom in how I operate here, and I think it's important for us to do that. But we're not gonna stay on that. We're dealing with it is a part of Bear, but I think it all is just like one big perfect storm, and now we see this situation today, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
definitely unfortunate. And Coach, I know earlier you were saying there has to be a gap, right? From with the talent level he has and not seeing the snaps, there has to be a gap. And
no disconnect.
Disconnect. right? And we know it's not a talent issue. And myself, I played college ball here, University of Central Arkansas, and I mean, we had a running back that was amazing, and he couldn't see the field for the simple fact had all the talent in the world, but the work ethic wasn't there. Came to meetings late, didn't want to practice. When he was at practice, didn't practice hard. And I mean, I don't know the reason he's not seeing the field, but if the talent is there and is not getting the playing time, in my mind, the only thing I can think about is that maybe the work ethic, the off the field is not there, the practice is not there, the coming to meetings on time, the total buy-in.
Maybe I don't know, and I don't want to speculate because I don't know what the situation is. But if it has something to do with snaps, I can only say there's a disconnect because I feel like he might have been told something and he interpreted one way, and the truth and the way it came out was not the way he interpreted, and that's where the disconnect is. I guess maybe I should have explained it more. They were probably told something, and he thought in his mind like, "Okay, I'm the starter. We're rotating." And his mind was probably, "I'm the starter. We're rotating. That means I get 5 series. These dudes get 1 series each. I get another 5. They get another 1 series." That's probably what he thought. That's where the disconnect is. But that's I can only speculate and think on opinion. I don't know. I can't give you that exact answer of what the disconnect is because I'm not there. I didn't have any of the conversations, and I'm not in that locker room to tell you what's going on.
I mean, that I didn't even think about that. That definitely makes sense. As far as in the spring and the conversation they had to bring them back, I could definitely see that too. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah, for real.
Some promises might have been made, or each way, and kind of it's not the same as the UNLV issue. They didn't get him his money at all, but
that's bad business. Yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely. Yep.
Hey, hold on for a sec. I see Tim Prager. Tim said, you can't see it. Tim said, did Bear get blown off the ball or not? But that's Tim. That's not the issue. The issue is, did the offensive line collapse and Miller get beat down? You could have magnified that, and I'm not promoting to magnify that, but why pick out Bear out of everybody when that wasn't the situation? Why are you magnifying a situation where he got blown off the ball? I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is it should have never been out there, period. Because we're trying to protect these guys. We're not here to really embarrass the guy, for getting blown out the ball. These guys follow all of us. They follow you, they follow me, they follow coach, and they
follow me. What up, Trojans? Why y'all don't come on the show, bro?
So we're not here to be the coaches. Yes, we tell truth about everything, but at the same time, we're not here to bash anybody either. Because if anything, we're trying to build their confidence up because he's already a second string. So you're essentially saying we're gonna kick a man while he's already down. No, we're not with that. I'm not with that. And so,
hey, Christian, I appreciate you. You keep talking, okay?
And so I think to single out a guy on Twitter, I mean that is weak. And you can't sit behind the camera, nobody can see you. I mean it's crazy. So look,
you're right, Jay. And I'm gonna say this because you're getting a little heated right now. So I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna tap you out. I'm gonna say this: it should have not been posted. I'm gonna say that none of it should have been posted. Right? Did they have a bad game? 100%. But it was the third game of the year. Some of these people, and I'm not gonna say all, was ready to jump off the cliff because they lost. They lost to the defending national champions by 3. They lost to a very good defensive line, 2 of them who's probably going to go on Thursday in April. And we're just crucifying them, just crucifying. Now, we're not even getting a chance. And if this is true, that if these kids are watching all of our shows and they go and watch Trojan Blade, they go listen to see what Final Rusty says, and they listen to what everybody says, they do absorb outside noise. That should have never been put out there at any level whatsoever, because oh God, how do you put it? They're just not there yet mature-wise. And it goes to the mindset of, damn, everybody think it was just me, right? And I could tell you this, and I'll be the first to say it. I made a mistake because I said that the last tackle, I said it on my show and I said it on your show. And when you came on the show, Humphreys and Ramsey, I said Humphreys was open and he should have made that tackle. That is me singling out Humphreys and Ramsey, and I should have not done that. That's not right, because now that's me being a hypocrite, because everybody's going to go find me saying that, whose fault it was and this and that. Not saying it was their fault, but that run, Humphrey had him wrapped up. Ramsey should have made the tackle. That's not why they lost the game, though. I'm not saying that. Nobody should be singled out for who lost the game. This game should have been, damn, this team looks much better than last year. Damn, we're so close to being an excellent team. We got a couple of things to fix,
and we gotta build them up. And that's just that's just what it is. It was already a tough loss, but then to put that up there, showing that within the loss, it's like, come on, man, we gotta do better than that.
It's NIL, first of all. Okay. See, things like that. That's not the attitude to have. Let me explain something to you guys.
I can guarantee you if somebody's kids is in the situation, they're going to clap back too. And I'm not even saying, because I feel like Tony Jones actually went a little too far, but because he started showing, I thought what he went wrong is that he started showing film of other guys on the team that had nothing to do with the conversation at all. And I think that's what, and I know, Coach, you didn't see all this, which it just got out of hand, and it was triggered all by one tweet.
I will say, let me say this. I'm just going to address this right now. I would say it like this. Nobody should have been singled out for any situation. But if people who have the mindset of that these kids are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, these kids are considered grown men. When your child is 18, I don't have an 18-year-old yet. I'm not there yet. But when your child graduates high school, that's still your child. That's still an 18-year-old. So if he gets a job where he makes $100,000, are you going to sit there and be like, well, you're a grown man now. You make $100,000. I'm not going to help you. If you are about that, I'm going to say this. I can only speak for my race and my nationality. That is a vicious cycle, and that is why we are where we are socially and economically. It is. Once you turn 18, you get out of my house and get kicked out of my house. Well, guess what the kids at SC are doing? Oh, guess what? You're 18. You can live with me. You have a job, pay rent. They're taking that rent money and putting it into a bank account on a high yield savings. Taking every month, putting it on a bank account on a high yield savings. Mom and dad, I'm ready to move out. Oh, here you go. Here's money for your first down payment. That's all I'm saying. These aren't grown men. Y'all want these 18-year-old kids who just got out of high school to be grown men, and they're not grown men. I coach these 18-year-old kids in high school level and in the college level. They're not grown men. Now, this dude said he was enlisted to the Marine Corps. That's a whole different situation. They turn you, I'm not going to lie, they're going to turn you into a grown man in 8 weeks. That's a whole different story. But these aren't grown men. Stop saying these grown men. They're not. They're not grown men. They're still teenagers. They still have a lot to learn. We don't learn anything until we turn 30. None of you guys who were 18. Now think about it, though, Jake. Think about it. You can't rent a car until you're 25. Your insurance rate doesn't go down until you turn 30. Think about how much less your car insurance is from 25 to 30. Like, there's a reason why. They're not grown men. They're not. As much as y'all want them to be, they're not. Nobody in this chat was an adult at being the ages of 20s. You might have been put in adult situations, and the reason why you were in adult situations is, guess what? Because you made a childish mistake as a 20-year-old. That's why they call it 20 dumbs. Get off of these kids. Get off of these kids. I will be the biggest advocate of getting off of these kids.
And think about this. Here's another. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man, my mic.
I can hear you, though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Coach, okay.
Yeah.
Think about this. The whole country beats down our program, right? They laugh at our program. They laugh at the fact that USC doesn't have this. They don't have this. And so why should we put anything to fuel that anyway? You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not putting anything that's going to promote, anything
like
that.
That doesn't make you an adult because you get paid like an adult, man. I think that's funny.
Man.
I think that's funny. I think when you say they pay him like an adult, I think that's a jealousy response. I really do. It's not you're mad that he's in that situation. That's a jealousy response. I might lose some fans today, Jay. I don't care, but
no, you good.
I'm just being. I'm just being truthful. Like when you say, well, they're paying like adults. Okay. They just made 17. When I played in the Rose Bowl, we made $17 million for the university. 17 million, Jay. I got nothing. But the school made 17 million. That's not including jerseys and all the stuff that we didn't get. They're making upwards of like hundreds of $1 million for the school, and people are mad that these kids are getting 10% of that cut. Putting their bodies on the line and getting 10% of that cut, but they're getting paid like adults. That's
no doubt.
That's a jealousy.
I got it. My battery about to die, man. I'm gonna get off. Hey, we've been going I didn't realize we were going an hour 30 minutes. My battery's about to die.
We got in it. No, we'll sign out. Hey, Tim, I love you, dog. When you coming on? Tim? He ain't even answer. Hey, I appreciate you guys, Jay. Hey, man.
All right, fam. I'm about to plug this thing up. All right.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for watching. It's been fun. Hey, all the guys who came through USCJ Salute Detroit podcast. We post every Tuesday and Friday, and we do victory after the game. So thank you guys for watching. Hey, Jay, I appreciate you, dog. It's a good one. We got some good conversation today. I appreciate you, Jay.
Hey, same to you, fam. Let me know when you want to come back on.
All right, good day. I'll see you guys.
All right.
Let Freak fight on.